So my missus at the time, funnily enough, not my missus anymore, said, right, listen, we need to get away from all of this chaos. Like it was just bedlam. This is all due to drug taking. Really, this is when the drugs started becoming more frequent, pretty much all the time, which led to other things and just chaos. So my missus says to me, look, let's go away for a week, get away from it all, have a nice relaxing week away, give ourselves a chance to get that shit out of our system, have a nice holiday, somewhere hot, no aggro, normal, nice normal holiday. Lovely. So we booked a holiday, we ended up in Palma, in Spain. Nice hotel, got there, lovely, first day, beautiful, got my shorts on, in the swimming pool. Everything was nice, missus was happy, relaxed. And then I hear these two voices. And I think to myself, I know this, like, they were from, my two pals were from Birmingham. Really strong Birmingham accents, right? They were my mates through football. That's how I met them. Zulus, of which I am an honorary Zulu, by the way, for what it's worth, which is absolutely fuck all. I've heard these two voices. I'm thinking, I don't know the voice yet. I recognised it. Like, you know, I mean, I don't know whether everybody sounds the same, but a Birmingham accent's a Birmingham accent, I guess. Especially if you're down that way. They call it the Black Country, right? So I've heard these two voices. I'm sitting in the swimming pool. I didn't bother much paying attention to it. And then there's a bit of like commotion, but nothing bad. But because they were just they were just they were crackers, you know. They were nice crackers, but trouble. My two pals, right? So these were the two people that we come away for a week to try and get away from, for example. You know, there was quite a lot of them. So I turn around, I'm looking, and I can see, I'm thinking, it must have been them, right? Because one of them was like a little wiry bloke, about, I don't know, he was 5'8", 5'9". He must have weighed about 10.5 stone. But yeah, but wiry. Just nothing, not a bit of fat on him. My mate Wooly. And then the other geezer, he was, he must have been, he got to be, I don't know, I mean, 20 odd stone plus, easy, right? And he was huge. He was huge. His neck, I remember we measured his neck once for a laugh, and it was like something like 21 inches. He looked like, what's his name? What was his name? Buster Blunt, the geezer from Bad Manners, right? Huge. And they were big football fans, and they were involved with the football. And I remember he showed me a picture once. I won't do the accent just yet, but he said to me, hey, have a look at this. And they wrote a book about him, and he was on the back. He was on the back cover, with his back turned to the camera. And no word of a lie, he filled out that whole of the back cover. He was massive, right? Darren. Right, obviously both, you know, into that sort of thing. Just crackers, like but good fun, but crackers, right? Obviously that's why they say birds of a feather flock together, don't they? So I'm looking around, and then they go. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to try and do the accent for what it's worth. Right, I hear this geezer shout out, I scream, you scream, everybody scream. He's trying to order. It was like 4 o'clock. He was trying to get, you know, they bring all the old desserts out, don't they? I scream, you scream, everybody scream, like that. And I'm thinking, oh no, please, what, you know, what? It can't be, right? It can't be, because, you know, I'm looking around. So it was them. And they're walking around the side of the pool, got their shorts on. I'm thinking, oh, fucking hell, they must be like, they've got their shorts on, you know, they're obviously here or staying here or, you know, so, you know, that sort of thing. Couldn't have been anything else. So now I'm thinking, oh, fucking hell, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? I can't, I mean, I'm staying here all week. It's not, I'm not going to avoid them, am I? Obviously, they're my pals. So, you know, half of me was pleased to see him thinking, fucking, here we go. Right? And the other half was thinking, oh, fuck, here we go, for a different reason. So I don't know what to do. But my missus knew him as well. You know, we were together a long time, and she you know, she sometimes got involved in a little bit of the shenanigans, but, you know, a fraction of it. But they, you know, they were, you know, just great to be, fantastic, but, you know, just trouble, but, you know, not bad trouble, but, you know, bad enough, let's put it like that. So I'm thinking, oh, fuck it, what am I going to do? I've got, that's it, isn't it? I've just got nothing. I mean, just, you know, all right. So they're walking along the thing, and they clock my missus first, and I can see that she's sort of clocked them. She's taken her sunglasses, you know, like, and put them on the top of her head, and she's sat up, and I'm thinking, oh, she's fucking she's definitely clocked them. And I'm trying to, don't know whether to say something or look away or see what happens or wait for the commotion or, so, you know. Right, so anyway, they've clocked her, she's clocked them, and then they've gone and sat over there, and then obviously they're looking for me. I'm at the other end of the pool, like, you know, a little bit out of view, and I can see them going, where is he? Where is he? Oi, where are I? So she don't look very happy. You can just see, I mean, I've seen that look 1,000 times, you know, I mean, it haunts me, to be honest. For that, I can't describe the look, but that was all down, you know, that was because of me. You know, it's just, it haunts me, to be honest, because, you know, all of that, you know, all of the shit that comes with it, with the drugs, and just, you know, I'm all right. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, you know, I could look after my own, you know what I mean? I'm responsible for my own bollocks, but, you know, when you see the destruction and the fucking damage it causes somebody mentally, you just, you know, when you just, somebody's just absolutely fucking breaking, because you're sort of, you're putting it on them more, you know what I mean? So that's bothered me for a long time. Right, so now we're now in the swimming pool, chatting away. What's going on? Like, how have you ended up here? And they're telling me the story. They got chucked off, they got thrown off from the plane, or they wouldn't let them on the plane. They were meant to be going to watch Ricky Hatton fight Floyd Mayweather in Vegas. I think it was Vegas, pretty sure it was. So, you know, they never got onto the flight. They weren't, I don't know what had happened anyway, but they didn't get on the flight. They got chucked off. So basically, as luck will have it, they've gone, right, come on then, it was just the next available flight, whatever you've got. And they ended up coming out like on, like, you know, the next flight or the flight, you know what I mean? Like, so right, so now they're at the hotel, I'm at the hotel. I haven't bothered clocking the missus too much yet, or trying to, you know, what do I do? Do I say anything? Do I, you know, do I apologize? You know, like, I'm thinking, well, what do I say? It's like, it's not my fault, but, you know, what do I say to her? Don't worry about it, everything will be fine, blah, blah. So now they're cracking on to her. Now, they're only staying for, fortunately, they were only staying for 2 nights, right? It was the weekend, and they were only staying for 2 nights. So, but that in itself caused its own problems, because they're on me, going, all right, son, right, what we doing later? Yes, obviously, they don't know that I'm there to get away from it, you know. They're driving her mad, saying, right, come on, where we going? And she's going, no, I'm coming, having a relaxing one. So they've managed to convince, I mean, I was up for a night out, but I was thinking, you know, I'll be all right, you know, I put all these plans in my head, I'm going to go out, but then obviously I'll make sure, 100%, you know, like, I'll make sure I go out, don't upset her, go out, come home, not too late, have a little lay-in in the morning, you know, no damage, sort of no real damage done, right? So we've gone out, and we've ended up in this, I don't know, we're walking down into the main bit, and we've ended up in this club sort of place. And I mean, not for what it's worth, I'm not a drinker. I've never been a drinker at all. You know, it's just, you know, didn't really have time for more than about 4 addictions. I couldn't go to more than 7 meetings a week. But I was never a drinker. So, but I would go out, and obviously I would be getting, it was drugs for me. You know, by this time, it wasn't just the, you know, it wasn't the, what do they call them? The what's it drugs? You know, like pills and all that shit. It was, you know, that was, we could get them, that was great. I mean, I wish that the government would legalise them and doctors give them out on prescription, to be honest, and that's not a joke. That's why all the football violence stopped in 1991, or, you know, like, it's true. If anybody that used to be involved in all of that, you'll know what I'm talking. It's absolutely true. People don't get it. So, right, so I'm out, and now I'm, you know, I'm ploughing on. He's got a bag of cocaine with him. It's, you know, it's like a fucking, it was always the same. You couldn't get through it. Saying that. But it was, you know, it was like that. It was like it's like a snowball. Always. So, I never bothered asking him whether I hope he didn't fucking bring it through up his trap door, that's for sure. He wouldn't have been able to get a fucking Kinderhead big enough for that. So, we're in the club, cracking on. Obviously now I'm fucking nose deep in coke. They're cracking on, we're having a laugh, no problem, and it's, I don't know, it wasn't like late, but it, you know, things don't get going out there till midnighty type thing. But so I can't remember, but I remember it was about 2 o'clock, looking at my watch, thinking, all right, no problem, I'm going to set myself a deadline, you know, that old chestnut, right? We've all done it. And set myself a deadline to go. So they're sitting at the bar, and I'm sort of just plotting around and just sort of, you know, normal stuff, and a little bit of dance, just not really one to sit at the bar, you know. I was always on the go. I couldn't fucking sit down, you know what I mean? I can't sit down at the best of times. Especially not, that's why they call it marching powder. So I'm marching around, they're chatting, so then I've turned around, and then they're sitting at the bar talking to these blokes, and they were just plotted up at the bar. And it was like, it seemed like forever. So, I don't know, it must have been like 2 or 3 hours later. It's just same thing, right? I'm cracking on. I'm not really bothered getting involved with these blokes. There was one bloke, he looked like, how can I describe him? They were just three big lumps, you know? You know, when you look at people, you get a rough idea, do you know what I mean? I'm looking at them thinking, well, you don't work in the bank, you know, that kind of thing, you know? You look at them and think, and they're obviously some, you know, involved, I guess. They certainly weren't there on holiday with each other, you know? So they're chatting to this bloke. One of the blokes, he was flanked by these 2 big lumps. You know, they looked the same, these 2 blokes. But the bloke in the middle that was sitting at the bar, he was either the bar owner or somebody like important. You know what I mean? Important, but he was somebody. I'm not saying somebody important, but he was someone in that circle, because they've obviously latched onto him. Otherwise, they wouldn't have. You know, I guess. So whatever they're chatting about, and this geezer, he was. I can't describe him. I just don't remember him that way. He had long dark hair, and he looked like a criminal, or whoever he was. Or these 2 blokes were obviously a couple of his blokes. I think, yeah, more or less. More or less. So they're chatting away. They're all drinking, taking shots, come and do a shot and all that. And I'm not thinking, no, fuck it, you know. I just stay right out of it, be polite, say hello, keep my mouth shut, not getting, you know, I'm not got no interest in, you know, just got nothing to say. You know, it's just one of them ones, like, just say hello, be polite, but I'm not getting involved in none of that, you know, at all. It doesn't normally end well, as you'll find out if you stick around. So, you know, it's about 6 o'clock in the morning. So it's something like that. And now I'm thinking, right, that's it, I'm ready. You know what I mean? I'm ready to go home. I started feeling a bit bad. Club was emptying out a little bit, and it was, you know, I was all right. I was ready to go back. Obviously, 6 o'clock, I'm thinking, right, I'll get my head down, have a power nap. Of course, have a power nap for
4 hours. You know that thing, get up, go round the pool at about 10:30, miss breakfast, that kind of thing. So that was all right. I mean, it was probably one of the most sensible decisions that I've made in, I suppose, in, what's the word, in essence. So it's 6 o'clock. I'm sort of going, come on then, like, you know, what's going on? And they're going, nah, come, you know, that sort of thing. And I'm going, look, I've got to go in a bit. And they was all right, you know, they was all right about it. And I said, look, I'm just going to go, you know, I'm going to make my way. But, you know, went out you couldn't smoke. Remember, you had to go outside to smoke, or I can't remember. So I went outside, and obviously I looked outside, and it was, you know, when it's time, don't you? You think, oh, fucking hell, what's happening here? Like, you know, all the birds are singing, the geezers are cleaning the streets, pretty much, you know, it's silly o'clock. So I've gone back in, and I'm going to, you know, say, like, see you later. Maybe that kind of thing. And make my way out. And then they said, look, just hang on, we're gonna come back in a bit as well, sort of thing. So I'm thinking, oh, okay, right, you're gonna come back in a bit. Like, well, it's not a difficult predicament, but if I just go, no, look, I'm gonna fuck off. If they say I'm gonna come back in a bit, I thought, all right, listen, I'll give it 10, 15 minutes, and then I'll say something, and then I'll get, you know, one of them. So about 10 minutes later, like, everybody's got up, and they're all drinking, and I'm there, we're coming outside, and then the other 3 geezers have come out, they've all come out at the same time. My 2 mates have, like, gone outside, and I've gone outside, I'm standing outside, I'm having a cigarette outside. And they've come out as well, and my mate, Wooly, has gone, right, hold on a sec, hang on, just wait a minute. I'm going, well, what's going on? You know, the immortal words, right? Just, we're going to get, you know, it was, I can't remember, but it was like, we're going to, just wait there, we're going to get a bit more, okay? And I'm thinking, not for me, I was all right. It wasn't, that's not what the problem was. The problem was, I just wanted you to know, wanted to go home. It was time, and I'm fucking not getting the hump, but obviously all of a sudden, one minute you're at fucking 100, the next minute you're at -100. You know, it starts getting like that. So I'm getting a bit like fucking, not twitchy, but it's like, you know, I can't, not get the hump, but it's just started thinking, oh, come on, I just want to fucking go. So it was going to be one of them, like, you know, 10 minutes and I'm gone, you know, fuck it, you know what I mean? They were my mates, but it was one of them, just go. They wouldn't have been a big fucking drama. Let them 2 get on with it, you know what I mean? That was all right. So I'm standing outside, they've come out, and they've gone, right, we're going to get a bit more. I'm going, where are you going? And they've gone, pointed up to this, I don't know, there was like these apartments or something, literally, more or less opposite, right? Up, like, so you had to go up these stairs, you know, like in New York, they've got those iron stairs. They go on the outside, you know, you go up the iron, they go, you know, like a diagonal shaped black iron stairs, but you go up the outside, you know what I mean? It was one of them. And I'm looking up there thinking, oh, fucking hell, no, I'm not fucking going up. I'm staying here, right? I'll give it 5 minutes, 10 minutes, right? I'll wait, and then that's it. I've done my bit. So I said, look, I'm going to wait here. I ain't going up there. I'll just wait here, right? They said, all right then, no problem. So they've gone up there with these 3 geezers. They've gone up behind them, and they've gone upstairs into, you know, through some, I don't know, you know, like, you know, a little alleyway, corridor thing that obviously the flats were, or wherever they were going was behind. So I'm standing there, like, it wasn't even, it wasn't even, I would like to say it seemed like a lifetime, but it was like 2 minutes later, I've heard this noise, right? Crash. I've heard this noise, like crash, bang, well, you know, I just heard this noise, like things sounded like breaking and, you know, I'm thinking, oh, fucking hell, what's going on? Like, something's going on, right? I'm thinking, well, I wasn't thinking anything. I'm just thinking, fuck, like, I didn't even have time to think. So, next thing I hear was these they'll stay with me forever, right? In a way, it's beautiful. It is poetic, in a way, right? Because it's all part of the story, you know. But I've heard these crash band wallop, and I've heard these commotion, and something's gone on, right? The next thing I hear, in the fucking strongest black country accent, right? It was my mate Wooly. He just went, fucking run! Right? And I'm thinking, oh, fucking, what's going on? So, he's come flying down the stairs. He hasn't hit one of the steps. You know, like, he ended up, I didn't see him for a long time, funny enough, after, but I heard he ended up being a mercenary, you know? So I heard that he went out to Sierra Leone, and he was, you know, I could imagine him doing that. You know, he was just, so he hasn't hit a step, like, from God knows where, landed on his feet, done a fucking rollover. You know, like he's giving it a bit of Bionic Man, right? He's landed on his feet. My mate Darren, he's like fucking, he's like 20 odd stone. He don't shift as well, does he? So he's trying to come down the stairs, right? And he's hitting, you know, it was like, you know, like a, not a third one, but it was like a fucking stampede, you know? He was such a big lump. He was hitting these iron steps. I'm surprised they never broke. So he's coming down the stairs. I'm standing over the road, so I've got a bit of a head start already. So, and I'm out the frame a little bit, but I'm also thinking, but they fucking, what's going on? Like, you know, these geezers could be anything. They could be, you know, you get fucking shot. It could be anything, couldn't it? They're obviously not fucking deck chair attendants. Yeah. So he's coming downstairs. My mate's gone, fucking raw. I'm thinking, oh my, what? So I'm just on my toe. Like literally, I must have broke the 4-minute mile. I swear to God, it was like the, you know, my feet never hit a step all the way down the promenade. I've gone, like, you know. My feet didn't hit the floor. It was like it was like something out of the Flintstones. It's just, I was gone. Right? I only looked back once, and I'm thinking, oh, fucking, you know, don't look back in anger, right? So I'm flying down the road thinking, oh, you know, my brains are just going, fucking, what's going on? What's going to happen? You know, I can't. You know, you don't get a chance to explain yourself in these situations, do you? Oh yeah, no, sorry, mate. No, they're my 2 pals from Birmingham. I sort of know them from around. I've been out, you know, I don't know them that way. It don't go like that, does it? So I'm thinking, oh, fucking hell, this is my luck. This is right. I'm going to end up getting, something's going to happen. They're going to come through my hotel door. Or, yeah, something's going to happen, right? Because don't forget, you know, my brain's ticking all over the place anyway. So now I'm fucking double Joe paranoid. Like, I'm paranoid, you know, I'm getting paranoid, thinking, oh, fucking, this is, what? So I'm strode back to the hotel. He's behind me, right? Darren's behind him, and the other 3 geezers, like, they were quite a big lump as well. You know, I only looked back once, but it was like the fucking Keystone Cops. It was all in single file, but I'm gone. So, my hotel must have been, you know, you go down those, what are they called, like a promenade on Esplanade or whatever it's called. I've run all the way down there. But you've got people putting their towels out on the beach. People, yeah, I'm running along, fucking giving it a bit of Flintstones, and I'm thinking, oh mate, like, what are you doing? Like, what were you doing? So, well, I got back to the hotel, straight in the hotel, right? Didn't even bother waiting for the lift. 2 paranoids, just thinking, right, boom, run up the stairs. Got in my hotel room. Right, my missus is asleep. I've tried to sort of play it a little bit calm, thinking, you know, hello, you know, like obviously she's awake anyway, been probably sitting there thinking, like, waiting for me to come in. I've come in, she can see in my eyes going, everything all right? And I'm sweating like a fucking, you-know-what, in a you-know-what. Everything all right? And I'm thinking, I don't know what to tell her. Like, what do I tell her? Like, fucking, I don't know what to tell her. You know, put, you know, don't say a word, put the fucking, you know, go and fucking, I don't know. Like, and I'm sort of saying, no, everything's all right. I've just had a bit of ag, but listen, it's fine. At the same time, I've got my ear waiting for the thing, and you know, you hear the elevator go, bing, you know, 4th floor. Like, I've got my ears going like that, thinking, oh, fucking hell, like, you know. So I spent the next half hour waiting for something to happen. And anyway, so in the end, nothing ever did. They came back I didn't see anyway, so that was the end of it. Whatever happened, nothing come of it anyway. I didn't see him again. I didn't see him again for the whole, funnily enough, I didn't see him again for the whole, they were only meant to be staying there for 2 days. I come out there the next day and was expecting to, wait. And that was it. And I just never, I don't know what happened, but I did speak to him after and everything was all right and we had a laugh about it. But basically what had happened, of course, is, they've decided to, instead of purchasing the merchandise, they've decided to acquire it, let's say, right? Not a good business decision. And that was it. And, what else can I tell you? It's, that's the story. That's the story. And I've got a million, it's just, I look back. I'm not glorifying anything. I'm just speaking as it comes, right? The overall intention, of course, is put it out there. Somebody can relate, make somebody's day. If it makes people laugh, good. People can't look at themselves and think what an idiot they've been. Well, have a look at me, right? And get in line so you're not on your own. Right, have a good day, everyone. God bless all of you.